Yeah, so hello again. uh, I want to touch now the topic of employee experience because we believe that that's one of the major aspects and the things if you want to be successful with in HCM in the future, that you focus on the employee experience. Uh, so again, Ralf Wagner, Solution Management based in Waldorf. uh, and disclaimer. So first of all, and I think we saw this in other presentations, HR has to contribute to the business goals. That's no doubt. It's not isolated somewhere else. So you need to link HR, your strategy, your tools, your service you provide to the business goals that they're really contributing in. Otherwise, yeah, it's wasted money, time, whatever. So that's one important thing. But the second is, and I think we all know this, it all starts with people. Only if you have motivated people, engaged people, which also get support from HR, so not burden, they should get some relief and not be bombarded with mails or doing something. So if the people really are connected towards the business, towards the goal, if it's clear what they have to work on, I think then that makes a huge difference. So that's the suite. I talked a little bit about the roadmap and the priorities, the investment priorities, and one is this individualized experience. But what do we mean with experience? So experience, and we think there are three main areas within experience. And one is that you get support. Wherever you need support, you want to move, you're got a promotion, or you're getting relocated, whatever, so that you get the right support from the HR department, from whomever, so that this is not causing your time, your productivity, so that you are supported. That's one important aspect. The second one is that you are connected to your team peers, to other members, to externals maybe, or if new people are starting, that they are already connected to the team and things like this. So that's the second aspect. We think it's crucial for good employee experience. And the last, that's I think the most important, that you are empowered, or that the people are empowered. Empowered means to work towards their goal, that it's clear what are the goals and what are the milestones and deliveries. That's one thing. But even more, that they are also able to drive their own career within the enterprise, within the organization. So those are the three things where we think that if you can manage all those three aspects, then that makes a good employee experience. So I want to focus on all the three areas. So first is the supported or support area, and that's closely tied more or less to core HR. So if there are some changes happening and things like this, how easy is it for you, or how to experience the service which is provided by the HR organization? So for sure, and I maybe want to start with this, so that's more for the HR department, more for the backend, that they have a robust solution where they can rely on, make decision, and do all the processes. From an employee point of view, for sure we want to more, and we started this journey a long time ago, but we want to provide more and more capabilities with a mobile-first experience. But what is a mobile-first experience? For a line manager, for example, it's not to have a compensation sheet and do the merit increase on a big kind of excellent compensation solution on a mobile device. That's not mobile first. So mobile first means always for us to focus on tasks which can be done in a kind of 10 seconds. So you can apply for a leave, you can view your payslip, you can change maybe your phone number or your email address. You can also maybe book a training course, or you quickly want to update something in your goal plan. But as mentioned, a line manager never want to do a complete merit increase and all the bonus, whatever adjustments on a very big Excel on an iPhone or something like this. So that's not the mobile first. So mobile first means not that we build the entire solution on a mobile device. It's more which are the applicable scenarios which you can run on a mobile device, and that's what we do. And for sure, and I think this nicely connects to the session before with Sanlam, insights. The platform should be or should have accurate data, and then you get the insights which you need to achieve the business goals. So what we are doing in this area, so Employee Central, as let's say the source system, is providing lots of data, but this employee experience means also that we keep up pace with let's say the latest things happening. So for example, that you can also make the decision how you want to be named and recognized within the organization. So that's a trend we see around the globe. It's coming up more and more. So those are the small things we believe that this provides also better employee experience if the people have the choices how they would be recognized, for example. Another thing is in time management. Time management is something the people want to get rid of long, let's say, entry sheets where they do something and they have to submit a lot of things or select a lot of things. So we want to make it more and more easy to record time off or to do time recordings also on a mobile device so that you can clock in, clock out, very easy, record overtime or things like this. That this is also very, very easy for the people, either on a mobile device or on a desktop. So especially if we talk about time tracking, I know it's always the problem. Are you allowed to, for example, do time recording based on your location? So using GPS coordination of your mobile device and you clock in once you are entering an area. If it's, I know it's sometimes part of the company policy not to allow this, but if, I think that's also a great thing that people don't have to think about, oh, I forgot to clock in or I forgot to clock out, and you need to do manual corrections and things like this. So this can be done by the system automatically. I think what's also very, very important is all things like copy and paste. If you have some patterns, some typical days where you do project work or something like this, that you have also a very convenient way to do time recording against projects or things like this, and copy things from the previous day or previous week, for example. So that's all on the more support side, because that's not really what you want to do from an employee point of view. It's more what you are forced to do. But you should get this out of your way very fast. So if we now come to the connected side, that means which tools allow you to connect with peers, to get system support. And if you look at the typical landscape, there are lots of things you need to do. There are lots of systems, often in silos. And what we want to provide a better experience that the people don't have to think which system they should touch. So is this in the procurement system? Is this in the HR system? Is this in the travel solution or wherever? So that should be not a problem for the people. So what we think, and where we spent lots of effort over the last 1.5 years, was to build content, HR-specific content into WorkZone as a layer and one-stop entry point for the people. So that's where we want to, let's say, make more content available from SuccessFactors, which you can access directly from WorkZone. So that's something where you have to make the choice. What is the entry point for the employees? on a desktop, on a mobile device? Is this SuccessFactors homepage, for example? Is this WorkZone? I know that lots of customers, they build something maybe on SharePoint, whatever. So, but the thing is, do you have one entry point for the people, and which is the suitable? And also, no, there's no one size fits all. So I think for an administrator, HR administrator, payroll administrator, or a person in the help desk organization, wherever shared service center, they maybe don't need this. They directly go to their system in SuccessFactors, do the things and so on. But for all the casual users, especially for the employees, but also for the managers, we believe that this is something where they can do all the tasks, they see all the alerts, all the to-dos, and they can do everything which they need. And you see, we provide more and more content also in WorkZone. So all those quick cards, the quick actions and things like this, which are part of the SuccessFactors homepage, you can use them also in WorkZone. And also where we are working on is to do this also in Teams. I mentioned this also in the roadmap presentation. One thing to get connected and be recognized is this dynamic team solution, where you can be part of such a dynamic team besides the hierarchy in the org chart or in the org management, and working towards team goals. So that's something where we see also a trend that you don't be necessarily part of a formal project for 1.5 years or whatever. So it could be that you also need only a small team to do brainstorming for a week or two as a kind of a pre-project phase, but you want to put together a team that they have one objective, for example, they can work towards, and things like this. So that's what we want to do. So it's already there, it's usable, it's general available, this dynamic team solution with the May release now, or June release. It was before, it was in an early adopter phase. Now you can leverage this. It's part of the solution portfolio, so there's no additional license needed for this dynamic team solution. And the beauty is that this is also part of our broader, let's say, philosophy that we want to give the power more to the people. So if you put in your data, which is expressing yourself, maybe your strengths, your capabilities, your skills and things like this, you will be more or easily recognized in dynamic teams, because others can search and say, I need a colleague who has Java programming skills, or who has done something in accounting and performed successfully an accounting project or whatever, and then you can be recognized and part of such a team. So that we believe that makes or brings more exposure if you want to be recognized as an expert in a certain area. So that's those are some elements where we want to support our customers to have more capabilities, that people can connect amongst each other. I think that's important, that not only always through, let's say, a central system where someone needs to do something, it's more that the people, they can do this on their own and need not to rely on an HR person or whoever needs to do this. The last thing is this empowerment, and so there are some concepts, and the first is this whole self model. So the whole self model means that you have not only, let's say, skills and qualifications, but also kind of preferences, working styles and things like this, things you want to achieve, aspirations, some simple things. You want to work abroad, for example, to get on a international assignment or whatever. Or for example, working style. in certain industries, retail maybe, or wherever, you want to work also more on weekend shifts. So it's not limited to, let's say, skills and competencies, also to some working styles, so that who needs those capabilities or things can find you in the system. So that's one thing where we spent lots of effort over the last 1.5 years to enable this whole self model as a kind of a backbone across the entire SuccessFactors suite, that all solutions are now consuming those capabilities. So that was one thing we did. So that's what represents you. At the same time, also the company wants to understand which skills do we have within the workforce. Where do we have maybe some shortages, so that we need some training, some plan behind, and bring the people more towards a new direction, because the business is steering in a different direction. So that's also very important. But, and that's something, those ontologies, you can build them from scratch by yourself. But there is very rich content from the United Nations, from the European Union, also from the United States, from departments. They have ontologies grouped and ranked with thousands of entries. So what you also can do, you don't need to do, you can build it from scratch, but you can bring in this content so that the people, if they search for something, it's already there. So it's already in the library and they can use it. For sure, they can also express themselves and bring new things which are not in the system. So it's not limited, and that's very important. It's not limited to what's already in the system. The system will grow over time, from a person's perspective, but also from the company perspective. If you need new things, then you add something to the library, and then you see how many people are in this area and how have those expertise. So that's important, to bring both areas together, the ambitions of the people and the needs of the organization. So that's what we want to do with this Talent Intelligence Hub. So all those three, they then result in those personalized recommendations. Only if you bring this together, what you want, what the company can offer, and then we use AI to do a kind of a matching between those two areas, those two dimensions, so that the people see, okay, what's in for me, where can I grow into, what projects are available, maybe coaching capabilities, learning courses, and so on. So that's more the concept behind, and this is how it looks like. For sure, the recommendations you get from AI, they will not be perfect, because maybe you forgot something, it's not complete, your portfolio, you have to rethink about. So you can always do manual updates. That's very important, that you are at the end the ultimate decision maker, what's suitable for me. And then you can also use this and assign attributes and think and do rating and things like this. So that's this growth portfolio. The attribute library, that's more what the company is maintaining, and again, also import the libraries, and then for sure they are not fitting or serving all your needs. You can also manually adjust them, delete or add. So that's also something you can do, so that you have those things available in the system. And then, as mentioned, you can use them for job posting. You can use them for any kind of talent jobs as well. So you see, it's not only used in one solution, so it's used in each, or more or less each or every solution we have in SuccessFactors. For sure, more the talent-related solutions. And what we are doing, it's not only limited to SuccessFactors, so that's at the moment the integration to S4, to resource management, especially for companies using resource management, professional services, maybe high-tech or others, that The growth portfolio is then part of S4 for resource management. So if a project manager in S4 needs some skills and sources, so it's the same data set, and I think that's very important, that you don't create a parallel universe in resource management in S4, that HR is the feeding and leading system for all those things. The same is also if you are looking for external people, using Fieldglass, for example, also using the same catalog, the same attributes, the same library, and then you can source external people for a certain time, for a certain project. Where does this become visible? Mainly, but not only, but mainly in the opportunity marketplace. That's where the people can go into, and where they see their growth portfolio, where they see all the recommendations, jobs, coaching capabilities, learning things they can do. So that's where the people see the result of all this conceptual work of the Talent Intelligence Hub. That's where we want to provide also more and more capabilities that people can really leverage this as their own, let's say, career portal and drive their own career. That's what we want to achieve with the opportunity marketplace. So you see also for the recruiting solution that you see the internal jobs, also how ready you are. So that's important. And for sure, dynamic teams. That's also something where you, and now this integrated talent management comes more and more together, where you can also, if you have some skills and the manager or person, they want to create a dynamic team, they will find you here. And you will find the dynamic team there in the opportunity marketplace. So that's how we want to bring those things together, that the people are more and more empowered how to drive their own career within the organization, and that there is no need, let's say, to reach out to another company and say, oh no, internally I don't have any career paths, I don't see anything, there's nothing visible for me, so I need to join another company, or it's limited only to the internal job postings. For sure, they will not go away, they will stay, but there is much more than only job postings, which we believe will be there in the future, like projects and things like this. So also this concept of this Talent Intelligence Hub with the growth portfolio, that also plays a role in learning for sure, because learning is a very vital element of your own career aspirations, that you do pass some trainings, book some courses, and so on. So therefore we are also including this into learning, that those capabilities will show up in learning, but also in the opportunity marketplace as well, all the learning courses which are available for you and applicable to you. So at the end, this whole self model, that's where you are. The opportunity marketplace gives you kind of insights where you want to be, where you can be in the future, but to be honest, from an organizational point of view, it also helps that the company has a better, let's say, growth capabilities in each. So you know, okay, we want to steer the business towards this, maybe enter a new region, enter in a new product line or things like this. And so the company knows how skilled the workforce is at the moment. They know where the gaps are. They can then plan accordingly, re-upskill the people so that you have more resources available in the future to take on the journey with the company along new business models, new business things, and be more agile. I think we saw this also with the pandemic, that some of the business was more or less shut down within a few days from 100 to 0, and now there's two ways. So you can say, okay, we have to close the company, or we have maybe ways to find new business models, but do we know if the workforce is ready? And that's what we want to achieve, that the people know where they can be, where their career opportunities are, but that the company knows also, is the workforce ready from, if they want to make some board decisions, to go with us in this direction. So that's what we want to make sure as well, that it's not only serving the needs and has the employee experience, but also supports the company strategy. So to summarize, the three elements of supporting the people on the more, let's say, administrative task, like how easy can you do time recording? Do you want to change something, addresses and things like this? So that the support takes the burden away from you and supports you, helps you, and not make you more busy with doing those tasks. So that's one area. The second is this connecting piece, that you can connect to others, that you can reach out to others, that you can be part of a dynamic team, that you can work together towards a common goal, for example. And the third one is this empowerment, where we think with this Talent Intelligence Hub, the people have the chance to express themselves, have this whole self model, and explore their career opportunities. So that's where our, let's say, vision of employee experience is going to. So employee experience is not limited like, oh, I have a nice UI and that's it. That's far too less. That's far too less. So you need concepts behind how you make it happen and how the people can really drive their own career. That's what we understand with employee experience, so it's not limited only to some UI improvements. So that's from my side in terms of slide work. Are there any questions? So I know it's late in the afternoon, you had already lots of sessions, lots to digest. Any questions? If not, then we see us later at the dinner or somewhere else. Thank you.